Hello and welcome everyone on our finale session of Miasm Nosode Sarcode's Imponderabilia Intercurrent Remedies. Hello and welcome everyone on our finale session of Miasm Nosode Sarcode. Yes, and just before the beginning of our finale session, Dr. Mokshada is going to make some announcement, and also today's session is also being live streamed on YouTube. So you can share the link with your friends and colleagues as this is an open session. So yeah, Dr. Mokshada, you can start.
Hello, everybody. So many of you might have already registered for the free beginners course that we're doing. For those who haven't, this is a course designed for beginners. Anybody who wants to learn homeopathy from the start, it's this course is for them. It's a 24-hour, 25-hour plus course, which is completely free. Certificate will be provided and it's online. You will have recorded lectures as well as live lectures, and you will get a 2-month access. So you'll master the basics through this course, and it involves learning from a lot of homeopathic physicians like Dr. Vijay Vaishnav, Dr. Diksha Vaishnav, Dr. Sunirmal Sarkar, Dr. Amar Singh Nikam, and Dr. Ashok Borkar, Gajanand Dhanipkar, Prasad Rasar sir, and many more. So this course has various modules as well, starting from foundation module in which you will learn the basics of homeopathy, case taking, Materia Medica module in which top 10 remedies, polychrist remedies, Materia Medica will be covered in depth, repertory module, potency and repetition module in which you will be taught how to take follow-ups, clinical application will be taught, miasms, and even a multidimensional module is there in which how to approach cases in which you have blocked, in which there is you have stuck, they are complicated cases. So this is the course, and it is going to be it is already live and you can join it. You'll get a 2-month access for it. For joining the course, there is a WhatsApp link that I'll be sharing in the chat right now. You can join the WhatsApp link, and all the information ahead will be given on the WhatsApp group. Thank you.
I think it's a good time to start. So, we are today at the last session of this course, live session. We have promised 2 video lectures which will be uploaded on the website as promised. Uh, There'll be a video lecture on fungi remedies, which I have prepared. That will be there very soon. And sorry, there is one more live session remaining where we have invited Dr. Rasal, who will be talking about Imponderabilia. Dr. Srishti will say about this. Of course, it's my last session for this course. Well, today we have only one translating team. Thank you, Azra, and thank you, Ezgi, and our Turkish team. Our Hungarian colleague unfortunately couldn't join today, but she's going to record. She's going to record her translation, and then she would be putting it on the website. And even the Spanish colleague, the same. So, anyways, Swati says, "Can the voice be a little better?" He's the only voice that God sent me with, so we'll have to adjust with that for now. But yeah, maybe the next lifetime I'll try to see. Okay, so let's start, jokes apart. Let's start the talk for today. Well, I had to talk to you about this remedy. Is easily, hands down, in my clinic, in my clinical experience, and in the clinical experience of people who I have closely associated with, easily the most commonest nosode. Of course, carcinosin is one of the remedies which is very common nowadays. But if I still had to tell you a remedy which is more frequently prescribed than any other remedy, it had to be Medorrhinum. And it's such a common remedy, but such an amazing remedy. It's one of those amazing remedies. When this remedy is well indicated and I've prescribed, um, I have seen some magical results. I will try to share some of it today, and that's why I normally like to stay away from fancy words, but I had to, just for our colleagues and students here, people who are joining, I had to write this miracles of Medorrhinum because this remedy genuinely is really a special one and so much more frequently indicated than so many others. Okay, let's start. I'm not going to tell you about what is Medorrhinum and what are the indications of Medorrhinum, and I'm going to try to share it through cases. Okay, I'll try to give you 5 or 6 short cases. The main thing about the case, right? And how we found Medorrhinum or whichever the other indicated remedy. And and then through that we'll try to learn a little bit about the clinical picture of this remedy. Okay. Okay, so let's start with a case. So this is a case. It's a case of a 7-year-old child um, we saw in South America. Was a case of alopecia in a case of Down syndrome. I hope you can see the screen. And you can see that this child, as you can see the picture, had a huge alopecia. Huh? Almost a huge alopecia. Even you can see some, maybe some, almost no hair on the eyebrows also. Yeah. And what is interesting is that many remedies had been given. See the remedies given: sulfur, belladonna, hyoscyamus, stramonium, lycopodium, sulfur. So many different homeopathic remedies had been given. This is one of the indications of a nosode or a Medorrhinum, is that when many remedies have been given and it's not working, think about a nosode or a sarcode. So I'm going to summarize the case. Some of our participants today are new participants. Some of them have probably um, joined here probably for the first time. Some of them are already joined before, but I'm going to summarize cases in short so that I can talk more about the case. I'm not going to explain the case in detail. So let's see what was the main thing in this case. So this alopecia situation was since his age was 2. When we tried to study his case, we found out that there has been history of a massive sexual transmitted disease in the family. The father had some kind of a genital herpes. Grandfather had syphilis, interestingly. The great maternal grandfather, I don't know what you call them, had also certain kind of a sexual disease. Interestingly, now this is the interesting part. This is why we say now, so homeopathy is so beautiful. It's so artistic, and we are so lucky to be homeopaths. Is because the way a homeopath can analyze a case, probably no one can. So when we studied this case, we found out that he developed alopecia since the age of about 2 year old. But when we really studied the case, we found out that actually the alopecia started after the birth of the sister. That means his sister. So there was a little element of some kind of ailments from birth of the sister. This was a very peculiar thing in the case. Yeah. Also, history of lot of intestinal infections, lot of sinusitis also in the past. We tried to study a little bit more about him as a person, and we found out that by nature he is a very extroverted and communicative person. He loves talking. Now, this is a very interesting thing, he loves talking a lot. And I have found most Medorrhinums, most people who I gave Medorrhinum, not all of them, but a lot of them, I found that many of them, right? Many of them were very loquacious. But when I studied the repertory, and this is the rubric, I'm opening the complete repertory 2019, and if you open the rubric loquacity, interestingly, there is no Medorrhinum. Okay. This also shows us sometimes the limitations of repertory. I absolutely love repertory. In fact, probably most of you might have heard me or seen me teaching repertory at some point in some lecture or maybe somewhere. But you have to also understand that not everything is written in the repertory. Very often, sometimes you may not find many patterns in the repertory, and that's why the future of repertory is going to be very different. It's what I see, a mixture of rubrics and patterns together. I see that there will be a software that connects rubrics and patterns, and then you put it together and you get a tree with different branches and possible group of remedies. That's what will happen probably 5 or 10 years from now. I don't know who will make, maybe one of you, but someone will make it. So let's come back to the case. So very talkative, extroverted, communicative, loves talking, right? There's a history of a lot of jealousy. Now, this you can understand more because he developed alopecia after birth of the sister. So you can imagine there's a little bit of an element of jealousy. Yeah. Now, this is normally we think jealousy, we normally first remedy we think apis, we think about hyoscyamus, isn't it? We think about lachesis. We normally don't think about uh, a remedy like Medorrhinum. But if you look at the rubric, have a look at this, please. You can see jealousy, and I'm going to show you a sub rubric, jealousy in children. And in that, you can see Alfonso Gucans, one of the authors who I kind of like, okay, more trustworthy, has given Medorrhinum. Interesting, no? Let's go ahead. Yeah. So, very calm by nature, they say. Likes to give off orders to other people. Loves demanding, very jealous, very restless. That's the other thing about Medorrhinum. They are very restless. Normally, you think that tuberculinum is restless, but you'll be amazed how restless Medorrhinums can be. And typically the feet, you know this, the feet are like this. They're moving. I'm quite amazed when people come in the clinic, they sit and after some point, they are just moving their feet like crazy. I have seen Medorrhinum children and they are, yeah. And I also see them, doing something with the fingers also. Sometimes they want to do something, and that's why they also love the telephone. In fact, Medorrhinum is a great remedy for phone addictions also. They like to do something, and that's why sometimes, in India, some of the patient they would like to keep doing like this. They can't stop. They are these gestures, that you have to observe as a homeopath. And the other thing that I want to tell you is that many of the flavors and tinges and these kind of things, subtle things, are not given in the repertory because you have to understand is a very old literature. It's been added by many fine homeopathic clinician, but still it's a human made thing. So there are going to be certain challenges. So that's why you have to be very open as a homeopath. Let's come back. He's very sensitive if people, scream at him or yell at him. He has a lot of desire for cucumbers, lot of desire for lemon, and a lot of desire fruits. This is something that I've seen. They love raw things, fruit, salads, a lot. Just today I had a patient. She was getting she was not getting menses for a long time, like amenorrhea. She had a history of polycystic ovarian disease. She had only one strong symptom. I have a lot of desire to eat salads, she said. I said, okay. Why? She said, I like salad so much that if I don't eat salad for 2 days, the third day, I feel I'm missing something. It was very intense, and I know this because when I tried to study her case, very beautiful actually, I saw salad desire. I hope you can see this. Again, you can see desire for salads. Of course, there is magnesium sulf, right, which is a great remedy for this. Of course, we know this. Elapse is another remedy that Kent has given. Okay, but Medorrhinum is a very interesting remedy for this desire for salad. Of course, my next question was, what position do you take in the sleep? Because that is the grand keynote of Medorrhinum. Medorrhinum loves to sleep on the abdomen. They absolutely love it. So this patient also loves to sleep on the abdomen. Interestingly, when we studied the mother state during pregnancy, we found that even the mother had a lot of desire for lemons during pregnancy. This is interesting, and this is also something that I do a lot in children's cases. Maybe at some point we will discuss about children, but in children's cases, when I want to give a very deep remedy, what I often do is I try to study the state of the child and then study the case of the mother's state during pregnancy. And what I often try to see is that I try to see if there are certain patterns that are common between both of them. And in this case, for example, was a very strong craving of lemon for the child and mother. And if there is a common symptom of the mother and child with same intensity, then that's a very strong symptom. The other thing also was a lot of desire to bite nails in our patient. So had some more symptoms, but I'm just going to summarize the case for you. So what did I do? I tried to summarize the case. What did I see? The first thing I saw was there was a lot of autoimmune diseases. Entire alopecia is there is a base in autoimmune patterns. History of jealousy, history of lot of medicines taken. You know, the antibiotics for H. pylori, family history of strong sexual transmitted disease. The state of mind, the sensitivity, the anticipation, the jealousy, the demandingness, the communicativeness, the craving, the generalities, and also miasmatic patterns in the family. And when I studied the case in detail more, I found, of course, the very beautiful Medorrhinum. Later on, we also came to know that he had a lot of desire for meat as well. So, desire for meat, sleep position of the abdomen, alopecia, desire for lemons, the desire for oranges, restless sleep, which he had restless sleep also, and biting nails. And that's what I gave him Medorrhinum, some more rubrics of Medorrhinum. Jealousy in children, position on abdomen, very extroverted personality, rudeness, fear of dog, reproaches ailments from, and you can see Medorrhinum very nicely. Okay. That's what I gave. I gave Medorrhinum 1M. Question: why did we give 1M? When the remedy matches the generalities, the physical generals, the mind symptoms, the family history, everything, in children's cases, 1M is a very good potency to begin with, especially in an autoimmune disorder. And within the first 3 months, we started seeing some changes. Let's have a look here. And you can see that his hair started coming. Yes, he had cough and cold that we managed with homeopathy. His nervousness was still there. His habit of peeling his skin was still there. So Medorrhinum was still indicated. We continued Medorrhinum. We continued every 45 days. We repeated the dose. And in the next 3-4 months, further the alopecia improved. You can see the hair here coming very nicely. His immune system improved. His anxiety, his nervousness, and by the end of 9 months, it was like a miraculous thing. The family couldn't believe that this guy who had almost lost entire hair, eyebrows, etc. And we repeated, and by the end of 1.5 year, beautiful changes. And you can see the before after. Quite amazing, no? To see this. Of course, we are still treating the child, and the child keeps improving further. This is his more further follow-up. You can see his hair is improving further. So he has done very well. In fact, we have a video of his case. Let's see if we can open it. The follow-up, I mean, we are asking.
Doing well, he's doing good.
How is he?
All the other patient improved a lot, the good results. I mean, grew a lot hair.
He's saying that the alopecia, etc., the parents are saying improved beautifully.
So we are very his hair situation is doing good.
His hair situation is improved very well.
85% of
And how would you say his emotional status compared to before when we started the treatment? He was very restless, very anxious, and he tried to touch his fingers and pull the skin and all that. How is all of that compared to before?
Uh-huh. Doctor, he improved improved in the anxiety, but he's that part of the anxiety to tickling his fingers. He still do it less than some months before. He's doing great. He has a good cognitive, so he in his school he's doing good. The way he's writing and understanding words.
So he has done really well, actually. The child has improved a lot. We are still treating him. There are still certain patterns that we want to treat, and he required different remedies at different points, but he has done well, actually. So let's study a little bit about Medorrhinum. Medorrhinum, the great Medorrhinum. Burnett used to also call it by a very similar name called as Glinicum. So Medorrhinum was introduced in 1848 by the great homeopath Swan. And basically, the homeopathic remedy, the potencies were prepared from gonorrheal discharge from the urethra during the acute and during the chronic GLEAT stage as well. So let's study a little bit about Medorrhinum child. Okay, we'll start with the child and then we'll go to the adult. Okay. Many children in today's times require Medorrhinum. So, one of the first things I look at when I look at Medorrhinum is very often just the physical observations. That is one of my first things if I observe a Medorrhinum child. So, what is the physical observation? Let's have a look. One of them is this. I hope you can see this on the screen. The serrated teeth. This is one of the very massive keynote for me. If I see such kind of serrated teeth, and it's a very interesting rubric because of our course, our course is nosode, sarcode, and all that kind of thing. So if you open teeth serrated, it has almost all the nosodes here. Have a look here. Basilinum, Medorrhinum, Sorinum, Syphilinum, Tuberculinum. Quite amazing, no? Yeah. So number one I told you about is serrated teeth. The second thing is hairiness. Now, this is a little exaggerated picture, but you can imagine that always you'll find, even the parents will say, we don't know, he's very hairy. When he was born, on his body there was a lot of hair. This is often a keynote of Medorrhinum. This is a massive keynote. I mean, without this symptom, generally I don't give Medorrhinum. Generally, there are exceptions, and that is the position of the sleep. you know, the sleep position that is always on the abdomen. Or you can also call it as the knee. This another position similar to sleeping on the abdomen is like a knee chest position, or the knee are like, like this. And the fourth observation, of course, is lot of nail biting. And I want to tell you, Medorrhinum not only bites nail, he bites the nail so much that the nail will come till here, okay, till here. He will bite and bite and bite so much that if you ask him what you like to eat a lot, he will of course tell you a lot. But when you look at his nail, you would almost think that his favorite thing to eat is his nails. There is a very nice symptom in the repertory that Medorrhinum bites nail so much that he even bites the nail of his feet finger. Can you imagine? The finger of the feet, he will put it up and quite unimaginable, huh? Medorrhinum. My God. Quite a amazing remedy. I want to tell you some more things about Medor. See, one cannot finish talking about Medorrhinum in 1 hour, okay? I will at least need 10 hours to talk about Medorrhinum, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a picture that I see. One of the first thing I also see about Medorrhinum is that they are very dwarfish. They are very dwarfish. Their neck is quite small. Their fingers are quite thick and fat. They have a chunky fingers, like quite chubby fingers, almost reminding you of Calcarea carp. But while Calcarea is too soft, Medorrhinum is little chunky, quite thick. The fingers are big. The lips are quite big. The lips are quite big. The eyebrows. This was a favorite symptom of one of my teachers, who I was very fond of, Dr. Praful Vijaykar. That the eyebrows are very thick. In fact, there's a very nice symptom in the repertory that the eyebrows are joined, This, do you see this eyebrow? Some people have what they call it as unibrow, I guess. You can see the eyebrows are joined like this, okay, like this. I don't know, you might have seen some people in some movies or something, their eyebrows are joined like this. This is an indication of Medorrhinum. Hair in unusual parts also. Are you with me? I'm really giving you a clinical idea outside the textbook. Please say a yes so I know that you're all awake and you're not all gone to sleep already. Okay, everyone is off. Okay, let's come back. Then the other thing that I was telling you, dwarfish, they are very dwarfish. And the dwarfishness, that doesn't mean that only the height is kind of small, but the dwarfishness is even in the mind. That even their mind, dwarfish, little childlike. And that's why Medorrhinum can often be complementary to Baryta carbonicum with the forgetfulness, with the dementia, with the uh, shyness, and so on. But what I have seen about Medorrhinum children is they have something hidden about them. The very important word that I want to tell you, and this is not directly written in the textbooks, This is the thing about homeopathy. Sometimes everything is not written in the textbook. There is, but sometimes in between of words. So there is something hidden. The whole thing about Medorrhinum is it's hidden. They have this very deep desires or deep kind of connections with something. The right word is what is forbidden. This is very important. In the culture, in the community, what is forbidden? Medorrhinum somehow has very often a deep attachment towards it. Like I'm just giving you a little idea. For example, about sexuality, they have this thing, what is forbidden by the parents or by the community or by the people in and around. They somehow have a kind of a fantasy towards it. And this is the thing about Medorrhinum. What is forbidden is something that Medorrhinum wants to do. Or and he wants to do it, and in his mind he does it, and he is crazy about it, but then he doesn't do it because the bigger symptom of Medorrhinum, and the bigger symptom is of being exposed. This is the thing. He cannot tolerate of being exposed. Medorrhinum will never give you his phone. If you say, Acha, give me your phone. Medorrhinum, no, no, my battery is low. My battery is low. They cannot, they have this thing about them. Like Bovista. Bovista is a very naive. Baraita Cub is very naive. You tell them do this, they will do that. Truth tells the plain. That is Baraita Cub, Bovista, Helleborus, very naive, very credulous. Medorrhinum has a tint of naivety, but the bigger pattern is fear of being exposed because of this connection with the forbidden. Quite amazing, no? How and the thing I like to tell you, and one of the reason why I do these talks is because I feel that a lot of our literatures, materia medica, repertory, many of them are, sometimes 75, 100, 150-year old. They need a little revamp, rebooting, like how Apple comes out with different versions. Similarly, the materia medica, the patterns, the remedy patterns need a little. What many of us homeopaths are more fantasizing is into doing new provings and this or new remedies, yes, but even the older well-known remedies, they are not exactly the way it's written in the textbook written by Kent 100 years back, right? Because the generation has changed. The Baraita carb that he spoke about, the silica that Kent wrote about, with the he compares it with the stalk of grain, the covering is very different today. So that's one of the idea, that we need to now be open towards today's times, modern form of homeopathy. The other thing that I have often seen with Medorrhinum, very, very peculiar, is that you will often see that their body structures are sometimes very strange. Either their leg is fat, or the abdomen is more protruded, or their hands are big and feet are small. There is some kind of a mismatch. Sometimes you will see this kind of patterns. We will talk about the craving, aversion, and all that a little later. Let's come back to one more case and then we will go a little forward. Let's go to another case. This is another case. This is a case of a 64-year-old lady who came to meet me. Her main problem was extremely bad tendo Achilles, bursitis. Okay.
Correct. हाँ ये जो
So this is our patient. She had come with a very, very bad tendo Achilles, extremely painful, extremely painful. And it was so tender. And she's a well-known allopathic doctor from a village in India. And she was in so much pain because they have a big hospital. So they suggested that let's get a surgery done because the pain was so much. Take some injections. But she once called me up and asked me that, do you think homeopathy can help? I said, you come, let me study your case. And I took her history. It's a very beautiful case, actually. Why it's beautiful? Because I learned about her much later. And this is a big learning, this case, I will tell you. So the thing is that she came in a lot of pain, lot of shooting, lot of tenderness, this shooting pain, throbbing pain. And the main symptom was that as soon as she puts the feet on the floor, it's too painful, too much painful. The pain is so much that as soon as stepping, huh, and then I asked, what do you do when you get so much pain? She said, doctor, I'm now into chanting and spirituality. I was quite amazed. I said, okay, you are into chanting and spirituality. Why are you into chanting and spirituality? You are such a well-known doctor and you're so busy. How did you get into spirituality so much in deep? And she said, no, nothing, doctor. No, no, doctor. I said, okay. Tell me about yourself. No, no, doctor, everything is okay. Okay. What is the main stress for you? What has been the traumas in your life? What has been the No, doctor, now what I will tell you, now we have lived our life, no? And this is what I realized, in her case, I knew that there is something much, much more deeper. There was something so much more deeper in her case. Yes. She was hiding a lot. There was a lot of secretiveness. That is the other thing about Medorrhinum, that there is something so much hidden in their life that they have to keep it like a secret. Very secretive, very hidden. And of course, she had many other symptoms. The typical craving of pickles, the sour food, the fish, the fried food, very, very hot, wants to sleep on abdomen, everything, everything. She then spoke about herself, that she likes to do everything on time. And if not in order, she can get angry. She's she's very, very empathetic, wants to help people, and the fact that she previously was someone who kind of, used to speak harshly and badly to people, but now she feels guilty about these things. And she talks that I'm very workaholic and this. I asked her, as a child, how was your nature? She said, I was very daring. And the main thing is, I had a lot of craving for food. Many people, they only love food, but I love food so much that I cannot live without different type of food. So, and at this point, I didn't know much about her case actually. I came to know about her case little later. We also observed during the case when we asked question, she just forgets what she was talking about. And when you talk to her in between, if you ask a question of her talk, she just forgets what I was talking. The famous symptom of Medorrhinum. What is the famous symptom? You all know it, huh? Forgetting the chain of thoughts, especially when interrupted. That's the keynote. The other thing we also saw, very, very hurried, very, very fast paced, absent minded. I asked her, tell me about your husband, what was the situation, and she doesn't talk much about it. So at this moment, I knew there was something very deeply hidden. And this is where I want to tell you one of the most important thing I want to tell you. That is that physical symptoms are often crystallization of deeper mind state. This is very important. Sometimes when you don't get very, very clear mind symptoms, focus entirely on physical symptoms. This is one of the main things that we do. Sometimes what a patient can't really exactly express mentally, emotionally, the body expresses through physical symptoms. This is something that we have often seen. And then that's what I focused at. The main symptom in the case was that the pain in the feet in the morning on stepping. And there you could see very beautifully the Medorrhinum. You can see the biggest remedy is Medorrhinum. And of course, once I got that, I studied her case and I found Medorrhinum. But I also later on, much later in her life, that is after 6, 8 months in her life, she brought her husband to meet me because she, of course, improved. She brought her husband, and I realized there was such a big problem in her life which she had to hide. There was a big trauma involved. There was something very embarrassing the husband was doing. And for her, it was like a big shame. It was like a big embarrassment. And she had to hide that. It's so interesting that sometimes we give the remedy and we actually understand much deeper patterns about the remedy much later in the patient's life when they actually say it, or sometimes when they bring their relatives to meet. It's just so fascinating. And of course, then there were many symptoms of Medorrhinum, okay, in the case. The tendo Achilles issues, the industriousness, the rudeness, the anxiety time is set, the desire for sour, uh, a desire for fat and rich food, and so on. Absolutely beautiful. And I gave Medorrhinum 30-200 1M, followed by LM2. This is the ascending potency. something I'm inspired by the great ML Tyler, and I use this in patients who are in a lot of suffering. And after this, there was a remarkable change with Medorrhinum. She not only got better, but she was able to handle the situation of her personal life with her husband much better.
करेक्ट करेक्ट करेक्ट हा हे जे होतं ना ते आय कम फॉर दॅट हा ते त्याचं गेलं ते बोलत पेन केलं बट दॅट थिंग इज क्लिअर.
But how did the pain come?
There's no pain now at all. No pain at all.
You also had a bursitis सारखं झालेलं.
हा ते bursitis
ते improve झालं homeopathy.
हा ते बरं.
The very, very bad pain of bursitis was managed by homeopathy. Let me show you one of the most amazing cases I did many years back. It was a case of a 38-year-old man whose sperm count showed no sperms in semen analysis. His main symptom was that, first of all, he was huge. He was 130 or 140 kg, something like that. Okay, I remember very vaguely. And he was, kind of self-destroying himself, eating just junk food, just not taking care of himself, not being very careless and heedless. And that's sometimes part of Medorrhinum. The difference between Thuja and Medorrhinum is, while Thuja is very cautious, very careful, Thuja will get up in the morning, want to go for a walk very carefully, try to take the tea very properly, exactly this much amount of tea, this much amount of water, this much amount of milk, very exact, and drink very, very, like, as if their body is fragile. That is Thuja. Medorrhinum is quite careless and quite heedless. He doesn't care. And this particular person, his semen count was very low, and he took the appointment and he cancelled about 7, 8 times. And I was waiting. He will come, but he would not come. Why? He would just postpone. His main symptom, and that's one of the grand keynote of this remedy that you will see, is postponing. Huge postponing. And also forgetfulness, of course. But so much postponing that he cancelled 4 or 5 appointments with me. The other thing about him was he would talk many big things but never do anything about it. Like Syncona, like China. He also had many other symptoms, okay? His craving, aversion, his forgetfulness. And I just gave him Medorrhinum 1M. With Medorrhinum 1M, and I repeated it frequently. You can see this rubric. I wanted to show you just this rubric. Postponing everything to next day. You can see the biggest remedy there is by Nair, right? This is the symptom I told you, that they plan many things but end up not doing anything. Ideas abandoned, uncertain in execution. You can see given by the great Pathak. Medorrhinum. They have this symptom of forgetting even names of intimate friends. Medorrhinum have this symptom. So if you forget name of your best friend, you know which remedy you need. They are also big aversion to change, because they are fixed. No, they like fixity. They like everyday exactly same food. I had a friend of mine. We studied in our college together. And the most beautiful or more crazy thing about him was, and I asked him on the last day of the college, for entire 5.5 years, he would bring one small box of tiffin, like a like a tiffin like this, and he would have exactly half amount of yellow color rice, the same quantity every day, 6 days a week for 5.5 years. And he would eat it for lunch every day, exactly the same amount. I asked him, how do you do it? How do you eat the same thing, exactly same quantity, exactly the same time for 5.5 years? Quite amazing, huh? So that's what I gave. I gave Medorrhinum. It's interesting what Fatak writes about Medorrhinum. Have a look here. A powerful, deep acting remedy indicated for chronic ailments. There's a very nice symptom. One more symptom I want to show you. Poor reaction due to psychotic taint. There has to be a psychotic miasm family history. And one more thing I want to tell you, it's one of the most forgotten remedy for rheumatism. So have a look here. Arthritic rheumatic pains, many different kinds of pain, stiffness, aching, soreness, edema of the limbs. So when Rustox fails very often with very good indications, Medorrhinum works, especially if the indications match. Huh? So anyways, I gave him Medorrhinum, right? I gave Medorrhinum, and in next 6 months, his sperm count, which was, you saw that, almost zero. Can you imagine? Can you see here? Total sperm count 4 lakhs in 6 months. Quite unbelievable. From almost zero sperms. What can you say other than saying miracles of Medorrhinum or miracles of homeopathy? Let's study a little bit more about Medorrhinum. One of my favorite homeopaths, who I'm very fond of, and you know that I'm fond of many homeopaths, including Kent, Grimmer, N.M. Chowdhury, Nash, Clark, Skinner, Tyler, Farrington. It's the list will go on, but some of them I'm very fond of. One of them is Burnett. I think Burnett, his Materia Medica, people are not able to understand, but great. And he wrote one of probably my favorite symptom of Medorrhinum, and very few people know about it, but I'm going to make you read it because I want every single one of you to know it and use it and tell me. And you can see it's written. Burnett says he regards Medorrhinum as the mother of pus and catarrh. Can you see this fourth symptom? As the mother of pus and catarrh. Mother of pus, mother of catarrh. So if you're treating a case of cough, cold, coryza, you're giving pulsatilla, kali sulf, calibicromicum. But if there are psychotic miasm patterns and if Medorrhinum is indicated, remember, Medorrhinum is the mother of all remedies. One of my teacher, Dr. Shorkor, he used to tell me that beta, Medorrhinum is the elder sister of pulsatilla. Elder sister of pulsatilla, I used to say. It's quite amazing. Yeah. So I was talking about Medorrhinum is one of the most deepest remedy in two pathology that I want to talk to you about. And I'm going to make you read from Allen's keynotes because you know that you have to read Allen's keynotes. You have to read Boric. You have to read Fatak. You have to read N.M. Chaudhary. These are the books you cannot live without. So I'm going to make you read from it. First thing, let's see. Second line from Medorrhinum. For persons suffering from gout, rheumatism, neuralgia, diseases of the spinal cord and its membrane, even organic lesions ending in paralysis, which can be traced to psychotic origin. So if you're treating a case of even tumor in the spine or a spinal cord prolapse or lumbar disc prolapse or rheumatism or any kind of neurological issues with psychotic miasm patterns, Medorrhinum. Then he writes, it bears the same relation to deep-seated psychotic chronic affection of spinal cord and spinal sympathetic nervous system that Sorinum does to deep-seated affection of skin and mucous membrane. Quite amazing, no? Allen, the great Allen, has written about it. And then one of my favorite symptom, and I want to tell you, so many cases of fibroids, gynecological issues, cysts, polycystic ovarian disease, infertility, cellulitis can be treated by Medorrhinum. See what Allen writes. For women with chronic ovaritis, salpingitis, pelvic cellulitis, fibroid, cyst, other morbid growths of uterus and ovaries, especially if symptoms point to malignancy with or without psychotic origin. One of my favorite symptoms that I often ask patients who need Medorrhinum, women who have gynecological conditions like fibroids or whatever, cyst, etc., etc., etc. One of my favorite symptom, I'm going to show you from few of my favorite symptoms so that you never forget it. This is one of my favorite symptom. I hope you can read this. Menses with stains difficult to wash. So they often say that, doctor, the menses is so strong that once it's on a cloth or on a pad, or it's very difficult to clean it, and it's very strong. It's very thick. It's very fishy. You know, the smell is like very fishy. It's very. This is Medor. This is, if I get this, I'm so confident about Medorrhinum. So confident. Of course, there are more remedies in this rubric, including Thalaspa burso-pestoris. There is also Pulex. There is also magnesium carb, magnesium mure, but that's for some other day. Am I going a little fast? Please tell me, or it's okay for you. Okay. I thought of doing so many more remedies, but I think I will have to stick to just talking about Medorrhinum. I want that everyone who's attending today, wherever you're from, you will know Medorrhinum in such a way. Of course, you have to go back and now read Medorrhinum in every book possible. But you should feel that ye baat ho gayi. This is the thing about Medorrhinum. Okay, Medorrhinum is a remedy with maximum craving. This particular gentleman or this particular lady very often could be a food blogger. You know, nowadays on Facebook or Instagram, you will see them, you know, they go to different cities just to try food. I had a colleague of mine. I said, you know, what you enjoy doing? He said, I love food so much. I actually go to different cities just to try food and come back in 2 days. I said, do you do that? He says, yeah, I went to Calcutta just to try a typical type of food, you know, a roll, a katti roll, he said. This was his indication of Medorrhinum. He's so crazy. His mind is full of just food, food, food, food, food. I want to try this sweet, sour, salty, this mix. I want to try this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, and then boom, Medorrhinum. The thing about it is that, they don't want to eat one thing. They want to eat this and this and this and this. So it becomes like a mixture. So Medorrhinum is a remedy for mixture of taste. If you know someone who likes different taste, sweet, salty, bitter, spicy, all, I think some of these cuisines have this, mixture of different tastes. It could be anything. It could be Indian, it could be Korean, it could be, I don't know, Mexican. Mixture of many tastes. Or you may find a very creative person who will take a plate and mix all the things, I don't know. Recently I saw this, he put a ice cream on a burger, on a tomato sauce, and they were showing this. These kind of people are Medorrhinum. If you go through the repertory, there are more than 110 plus cravings of Medorrhinum. Quite amazing. And the interesting thing is, Medorrhinum has a sensitivity like pulsatilla, anxiety like arsenic, timidity like silica, sympatheticness like phosphorus, and sexuality like hyoscyamus. Although in hyoscyamus it is more shameless sexuality, in Medorrhinum it's more hidden sexuality. So a lot of anxiety about health. Medorrhinums can be biggest hypochondriacs as well. You can see anxiety, hypochondriacal. They can also be avarice. Medorrhinum and many of the remedies from psychotic miasm are very important for psychiatric disorders. I have a very beautiful case of obsessive compulsive disorder, and I have 2 or 3 of them, and they are doing very well on Medorrhinum. Medorrhinum has this symptom of constant desire to wash their hands, constant desire to check if they've kept it properly, constant desire to see if the key has locked or no, constant desire to check if the door is locked or no. So this is a very psychotic miasm trait. And that's why Medorrhinum, Lacaninum, Thuja, these remedies very often come in these kind of obsessive compulsive disorders, of course, if indicated. Just like causticum, Medorrhinum love animals. Absolutely love animal, like carcinosin. Love for animals, you will see Medorrhinum. We already spoke about forgetfulness, so I'm not going to tell you much about it. There is forgetfulness of everything in Medorrhinum, okay? So much forgetful, they cannot finish the sentence. Quite crazy. The other thing that I have seen, I wanted to tell you about this, is that there is a lot of perverse sexuality in Medorrhinum. There's a lot of, there is somewhere at a deeper level, sometimes in their life they have behaved like perverts as well. Some of the Medorrhinum, not all of them. So they can be perverted, you might see them doing some very weird and strange kind of things that you cannot even imagine. I will let you imagine what they can probably imagine. In the repertory, they have given in detail about in homosexuality, they have given Medorrhinum. Vassilus Gagas has written about it. I was telling you about this rubric, huh? Love for forbidden things. I hope you can see this. Only single remedy, Medorrhinum. Just like pulsatilla, they cry a lot while talking. This is the other, it's actually bigger than Kalikab and pulsatilla. You can see Medorrhinum. Weeps when talking. And there is a symptom, weeps while talking, and then after talking again weeps. And weeps and weeps and weeps. That is a symptom. They cannot stop weeping. And let me see if I can find you this rubric, okay? Then or else you will tell me, oh, show me the rubric. You keep asking me, no, so I have to tell you beforehand what to do. Let's see if I can find it for you. Have a look at this. Single rubric. Weeping, telling about one's illness, when over, again weeps. Single remedy. Quite fascinating, no, to see this single rubrics, which means that this is only one remedy in this rubric. Weeping on trifles. One of my teacher, Dr. Sharkar, as I told you, he finds Medorrhinum very important in congenital disorders. He told me that in many congenital disorders, if you get two symptoms, sleep position on abdomen and the cravings, if you get this, Medorrhinum could be a huge remedy. That's what he often told me. Dr. Banerjee has given Medorrhinum as one of the protocol remedies in chronic renal failures. Interesting. Although clairvoyance is a main symptom of Medorrhinum, Crotalus cascavella, phosphorus, Medorrhinum has another kind of symptom. It is written clairsentinence. What is clairsentinence? It means clearly sensing, ability to feel the present, past, or future physical and emotional states of others without use of normal five senses. Psychics who are clairsentient are able to retrieve information from houses, public buildings, and outside areas. Can you imagine? This Medorrhinum are little, some of the Medorrhinum can have this kind of quality in them. And in the a lot of literatures, it has only one remedy. Medorrhinum has more often red color warts. That's one of the key symptoms. Like carcinosin, but Medorrhinum has more red warts than carcinosin, although carcinosin also has. But typically, I have seen Medorrhinum as a forgotten remedy in red warts. The other symptom of Medorrhinum I want to tell you is that itching when thinking about the symptom. I want to show you it has only one remedy in it. Thinking of complaints, no? I want to show you. Itching, thinking has only one remedy. One or two remedies, I think. You can see in Fatak. Itching, thinking of it aggravates. So if someone tells you that, doctor, I have psoriasis, I have a lot of itching, but when I think I'm going to get itching, the itching is more. This is Medorrhinum. Medorrhinum is not only, if I have to tell you three most important remedies I have used in infertility, it has to be Medorrhinum, natrum carb, and borax. These three are the main remedies that I've used in female cases of infertility. And one of the key symptoms is that they have a lot of itching in the genitals, better by bathing and rubbing, and sometimes even better by hot water. Okay. They like to put hot water where they are itching. I want to tell you a little bit about modalities of Medorrhinum because although they are very well known, but I have to tell you them. So let's have a look at Boger's synoptic key. I give a lot of importance to this book. Every one of you, you should have Boger's synoptic key in your table. Wherever you're sitting, you should have it. You should have Boric, but you should also have Boger. It's a very small book. And in my college life, I made a thesis on it, which never was passed because my teacher told me that I will make sure that you never become a doctor. Yeah. He organized a seminar for me after 3 years of me finishing graduation. Anyways, let's come back. So, sphere of action, sphere of action, nerves, mucous membrane, lymphatics, cellular tissue of the lungs, cellular tissue of the pelvis, cellular tissue of the small joints, spine, action on spine, kidney, left ovary. Very good action um, on left ovary. Okay. Left ovary is a very important. What about palladium? Palladium is more for right or left ovary? What do you feel? Okay, you have to find out. Let's have a look at the modalities here. Worse by damp cold, but remember that Medorrhinum loves rains. Just like how carcinosin starts dancing with rains, Medorrhinum loves rains and dampness. They love lying on the abdomen. They love fresh air and air condition. They love rubbing. They love sea, like natrimure. They have a polarity, okay? Many of these remedies have polarities. 3 a.m. like Thuja. Thuja is 3 a.m. and 3 p.m. both aggravation. Medorrhinum only has this. But one of the favorite symptom that I've used is better by sunset. So one of the main indication is, doctor, at night, I feel I'm myself. The many patients, they come and tell you at night, I don't know, something happens inside me and I'm myself. That is Medorrhinum. Even children, they are much more active at night, Medorrhinum. See, it's written first line, stiff, achy, sore, rheumatic. Medorrhinum. Tells it over and over again. They have a habit of repeating, and that's why Medorrhinum is a great remedy for autism spectrum. Na na na na na na na. Repeat. Better by weeping, like pulsatilla. Okay. Tousled heads. The hair is like this. They can never make their hair. It's like this. Imagine. What did I do to my hair? But anyways, imagine it, even if they go to the saloon, the guy in the saloon, he says, what is this exactly? You need a big treatment of your hair. Medorrhinum. In COVID, I used a lot of Medorrhinum because Medorrhinum is the one of the main remedies for coryza with loss of taste and smell. So if you know someone whose smell goes away, taste goes away, Medorrhinum. Very, very important in children and adults when there's a lot of redness and itching of the anus. burning feet, and that's why they want to put the blanket, but the feet are outside. Medorrhinum. They feel that their body smells so bad that they want to constantly go and take a bath. So Medorrhinum will be taking at least 4 times the bath. Hairy arms. If they just put their shirt up, many of these Medorrhinum men, so much of hair that you will feel, my God, is he like a, I don't know, a bear or something like that? So much of hair. See, it's written, I told you, follows Rustox. When Rustox fails, if with psychotic miasm, think about Medorrhinum. My God, lot of Medorrhinum. Yeah. I think we had a whole plate of Medorrhinum today with everything. But I'm very excited because I want to invite you for our new course, which is going to start very soon. It's going to start in January, actually, next year. And it's a special course because it's a topic that not many people talk about, but it's very, very exciting. And especially because if you want to do a little more super specialty, then this is the course. It's called as Homeopathic Strategies in Geriatrics for old people, for senior people, and for the most lovely people, and ophthalmology. Okay. So at the end of this course, you will get a special certificate that certifies that you have studied with us with a 20-hour plus course of your kind of homeopathic strategies in geriatrics and ophthalmology. And why this course is interesting, because the first time I'm going to invite my mother, Dr. Pushpa Gaikwad. You know, she's an eye surgeon and she has close to 35-40 years of experience. And she'll be teaching alongside me, where she will be talking about clinical medicine and about every different ophthalmic disorder. And I will be talking about the homeopathic understanding of it. And of course, we have invited some great homeopaths to teach alongside us. But not only this, but also a lot of topics in geriatrics in today's times, like renal failure, Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinsonism, diabetes, osteoporosis, urinary incontinence, COPD. For old men and women, very often the families bring them and they say that, we don't want to undergo surgery. We don't want to take these antibiotics. We don't. Can you treat with homeopathy only? And more, they are going towards homeopathy. More and more people are realizing the purity and the success and the healing, deep healing of homeopathic medicine for old age. Not only children, but old age is now something that people want to work on with homeopathy. And the patients are so many, and many of them with glaucoma, many of them with different ophthalmic disorders also, and neurological disorders also. So this is a very special course. The fees is, of course, especially extremely discounted for all the people who have already joined our past courses. There is an early bird discount till 23rd December. And well, this is very special. You have to write an email to us on gorang@gmail.com, and there is a special 30% discount that you will be getting. So this is something that I'm going to invite you to be a part of, and you have my email ID, so you can write to me and be a part of this very, very beautiful course that is going to just help you to evolve and go to the next level on these topics. We are not going to repeat this course. This is a very, very specialized course. It's a more of a super specialty course. And we have close to 1,000 registrations today. In today's talk, actually, I asked our team. So, yeah. So I will be waiting for your email today because the first few seats will get a special 30% discount. And I want that each one of you who's already a part here, who's attending right now, you get the best benefit of it. So I really would love that you join. And what else? Well, we are excited because many of our homeopaths who are in the US and Canada, we have just finalized with our colleague Mohan ji and Robin ji about our first ever in-person seminar in Canada, in Toronto. So if you are, unfortunately, this is only an in-person seminar. So if you're anywhere close to the North America or Canada or US or anywhere you are there, you want to come for this 2-day seminar on 23rd and 24th May, we will be sharing all the details, but you can already see the details here. Here, I will ask our team to share this on the WhatsApp in the group so that wherever you are, you could possibly join. And I believe that it'll be great to meet you. We also have plans. We are already in discussion with our colleagues. Hopefully, next year, if Azra is well, we will be also in Istanbul. So it will be great to have all our friends there again. Let us see. It will be possibly in April 2026. This is also on card. So we will keep you posted because SG, our main person there, the boss, is going to tell us what will be the best that we could have. So this is about it. And other than that, I'm going to invite you guys to join for our new course. But maybe before I finish, I'm going to take maybe a few questions because or else you will feel that I'm not taking questions. It's the last day, huh? So I have to take some questions. So let me see. I'm reading from Q&A and maybe Dr. Srishti can meanwhile look at some more questions. Will you still upload script for last few session? Angelica say she will give presentation. Yes, if she has said yes, we will put it on the website when we get it, surely. How did you dose the bursitis case, Medorrhinum 30, 200, 1M? When did you start 200 and when did you start 1M? So Medorrhinum, for example, 30 2 times a day for 2 days, 200 2 times a day for 2 days, 1M 2 times a day for 2 days. Sir, can Medorrhinum be used in person with family history of cancer? I have seen aggravation, not necessarily. If it's indicated, I would still give. What if a patient forgets to write not in their email or wrote not when he should not have? I really do not understand what the question is. Maybe you'll have to write again at some point. This managed to even confuse me. Anyways, Emily, can you repeat the remedies mentioned for consideration of female infertility besides Medorrhinum? Yes, for sure. Borax, Natcarb, Medorrhinum, and Thyroidinum. Can you illustrate few words about borax? Read Fatak Nuzat. Borax is a huge remedy in infertility. Natrum carb, natrum phos, and borax. All the three remedies have huge indications. With the typical indications of borax, huh? You know that borax has natrum element in it. Yeah. Can you tell us if you give dry dose of LM or in water? I will ask our team to send a document of how to prepare the LM in the WhatsApp group, Jody, if you're part of it. What is the price of the new course? Bridget, you just have to email and we'll send you all the details. It is definitely less than the amount we will spend on a dinner. Also depends where you're going to have the dinner. Hmm. There are just many questions. Let's take some questions with our colleagues from Turkey. Let's see if I can go to the yeah. Yeah, I can go to, where do I have to go? I'm going to go to the channel of Turkey. Wait. Yes, yes. Hello. I'm in the English channel. It's okay. Perfect. Yeah. The question is, can Medorrhinum pull out the eyebrows or or things like that? It is possible. Medorrhinum can pull out the eyebrows and things like that. They can have this kind of states. Although this indication is more common in spider remedies, more in tarantula, more in arsenic, it's more common. Very different. I believe tuberculinum, the main thing about tuberculinum you'll feel is a kind of a explosion of energy in them. The word is explosion in tuberculinum. When they come inside the clinic, it'll be difficult for you. You cannot keep the bottles on the table. You want to keep it inside because they can come and smash your bottles, or it'll be very difficult for you to handle. Very often when tuberculinum patients come, I close the laptop and sit, because I'm scared they'll come and do something. Is the energy you get, okay? Of course, there is so many more things, but the energy you feel is like this. Whoa! That is the tubercular miasm. While with the Medorrhinum, first of all, tubercular patient belongs to tubercular miasm. So you see the fast-pacedness and and the child is very thin and tall and emaciated and has a bundle of energy. Is tuberculinum. In Medorrhinum, more psychotic miasm. Okay, they are more dwarfish, as I said. The fingers, the hand, the face are more chubbier. The neck is smaller. Mentally also a little more dull compared to them. Little sometimes could be a little backward also. There can be a little kind of a sexual history in them in the past, right? They can also come across a little shy, little timid. They take time to open up. They are very nervous actually. So you can differentiate. The question was differentiation between Medorrhinum and tuberculinum child for our colleagues who are in other channels. Okay, what else? Does the Medorrhinum cry violently or more emotionally? I believe there is a lot of crying in them. It's more childlike crying. There is more moaning. It's more similar to pulsatilla than let's say Nux vomica. Okay. Question was about a child who has a lot of symptoms like Medorrhinum and is very hairy. Can we give Medorrhinum? If it's indicated, definitely. Also compare Medorrhinum and thyroidinum. Sometimes they look very similar. Perfect. I'm going to go. No, that's about it. Azra, no other questions. Okay. I would give more importance to the symptoms than only the physical constitution. Finally, one has to match everything. The question was about the height being tall and what if other symptoms match, but you want to see everything matches. But if the symptom is very intense, but the physical constitution doesn't match, I would still give it. Shrishti, any question that you can see, any 2 or 3 questions that you choose, I will take. Before we invite SG to share few words to inspire our colleagues.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
So first question is, what makes Medorrhinum patient to hide things?
Huh. It's a good question. What makes them? Well, theoretically, you can, of course, say that they the psychotic miasm pattern is very, very strong in them. There's this hereditary pattern that run in people's family. But homeopathically, if you want to understand, they try to hide because there is a fear of being exposed. There is a fear of there's a shame involved there. There's a lot of shame in Medorrhinum. There's a lot of shame, guilt, anticipation, avoidance. I'll give you an example. Sometimes the Medorrhinum child will come and the mother and the father will come and you will ask them something. You'll ask the parents, okay, tell us a little bit about it. And the mother will start saying, my child, he doesn't eat properly. He's like this, he always abuses a lot. And the child will say, hey, shh, no, no, no, no, don't say, no, no, no, don't. This is Medorrhinum. They cannot tolerate their parents exposing about themselves in front of new people. This is Medorrhinum. Yeah.
So next question is, how to differentiate Calcarea carb and Medorrhinum in appearance?
They can look similar but very different. While Calcarea carb is very, very chubby and very, very healthy and all that kind of thing, there is a little softness to Calcarea carb. Medorrhinum has, like I told you, a very strong psychotic miasm taint, if you can feel that.
So there were a couple of questions regarding the potency in case of aspermia.
Yes, yes. So we gave Medorrhinum 200 and we repeated them every 45 days. Perfect. So once again, we are coming towards the end of the talk. We had almost 3 translations. We had our Spanish translator, John Carlos. He's not here. Thank you so much. Naomi, who's not here. But many of the Hungarian people are writing that there is no Hungarian translation. I'm sorry for this, but she was not available today and she has promised that she will record and put it for you guys. So I hope it happens. Please let us know. And of course, our entire team here, Dr. Srishti, Dr. Mokshada is here, Dr. Kinishka is here, Dr. Dr. Utsav, Dr. Shivani, possibly Dr. Mega helped us with a lot of quiz on the WhatsApp group. Um, so our backend team, Karan, so many people have done everything. Huh? It's our all the teachers who came and who spoke. Serpil, we shouldn't forget Serpil from our team of Turkey who did an amazing translation. So I'm so grateful and I'm so happy that we all are coming towards end of the talk today and happy that you all joined. But I'm looking forward. We are going to take a small break for a couple of months. We are going to start again in January, a new cycle, a new topic, a topic which is very different, but we need to master that geriatrics and ophthalmology. So I will wait for your email. And now the floor is of our friend from Turkey, SGG. SG, all over to you. Please go forward and share.
Thank you. Ben tüm Türk homeopati camiasına öncelikle çok teşekkür etmek istiyorum. Bugün 2 aydır süren harika bir eğitimin sonuna geldik. Birlikte öğrendik, büyüdük, paylaştık. Her birinize katılımınız, desteğiniz ve güzel enerjileriniz için çok teşekkür ederim. Azra'cığım istiyorsan sen çevir, ben devam edeyim. Aynı anda gidiyoruz. Okey. Bu süreçte ben özellikle çeviri desteğiyle Hepimizin öğrenme sürecini kolaylaştıran Serpil ve Azra'ya çok ama çok teşekkür ederim. Canı gönülden bize destek verdiler, Türk Homeopati topluluğuna. Ve aynı zamanda Seda'ya çok teşekkür ederim. 7/24 bu eğitimin sizlere ulaşması için geri planda Hindistan ekibiyle birlikte elinden geldiğince kendi iş temposunun yanında bizlere destek verdi. Ama tabii ki en büyük teşekkür bu yolculuğun kalbi olan Doktor Gorang'a. Derin bilgisi, sabrı, öğrenme hevesi, öğretirkenki cömertliğiyle birlikte bu 2 aylık bir süreci bir ilhama dönüştürdü. Aynı zamanda kendisi de duyurduğu gibi Nisan ayında ikinci kez belki de İstanbul'da Dünya Homeopati Günü'nü yine güzel bir konferansla kutluyor olacağız ve buradan da hep birlikte homeopatinin ışığını Türkiye'den dünyaya yaymak üzere hep birlikte yeniden bir arada olmayı diliyorum. Hepinize katılımlarınız için teşekkür ediyorum. Bundan sonraki süreçte de diğer eğitimlerde de bizler elimizden geldiğince homeopatiyi Anadolu topraklarında yaygınlaştırmak için sizlerle birlikte olacağız. Çok teşekkür ederim herkese. Azra şimdi çeviriyi Doktor Goran'a ulaştıracak.
Thank you, Ezgi. Teşekkürler. So, well, that's about it for this year. We say goodbye and namaste, and I hope that we meet again. You have an access to watch these videos for 2 years, so that's a long time for you to study again. But I look forward to in the new course, and thank you everyone who has made this happen. Special thanks to Dr. Srishti and Dr. Kinishka also. I don't know if Kinishka, I don't know if she's here. She has helped us in recording a lot of videos. Maybe Mokshada will be there. Dr. Mokshada also. Of course, we are very grateful to her. And Dr. Jaya is here also. Yes, Mokshada is here already. And and and everyone, so many people, Dr. Utsav, Dr. Shivani. We have our admin team now, Manali ji. So that's about it. Let us see in the new cycle. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.